Hey everybody, guess what? It's finally here. The full release of the Lamplighters League and the Tower at the End of the World is upon us. Back on May 11th, we got to check out the opening tutorial mission, and based on what I could see in the comments, you guys loved it, and I know I loved it. Lamplighters League is developed by Harebrained Schemes. This game is published by Paradox Interactive, who are also sponsoring a couple episodes of this playthrough. And I actually got a chance to make some tutorial guides for Lamplighters League that they're going to be publishing on their official channels. I'll have links down below for that, and of course to check out the game to buy for yourself. This video is going to mark the official start of the playthrough. I'm going to move slightly quicker through the opening tutorial, but if you have any questions that aren't clearly explained on my end, then just drop them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Speaking of, I'd love to hear how you found my channel. Did you stumble onto it during the XCOM days? Are you one of the OG Half-Life guys? Or maybe you're new here. In any case, I want to hear from you. Let's see if we decide to do the end of this mission any differently than we did in the demo from May. I'll also give you an overview of the strategic layer at the end of the video. I know a lot of you XCOM fans out there are really going to like this game, so let's dive in and have a super time.
Hey.
You're welcome.
Well done. What's your name again?
The gentleman Jin, at your service.
And we're married to that name, are we?
Ha! What's wrong with my name?
It's a beautiful start to a hopefully beautiful relationship and playthrough.
How about I find our missing courier? You stay here and guard my back?
So you can get the baggage yourself and cut me out of the job. Ha! Nice try.
Whatever you say, Gentleman Jin.
Was that so hard? But that's my professional name. You can just call me Latif.
Okay, so we could have chosen to skip this tutorial, and then your campaign starts a little differently. You would get 4 random agents at the start, and it's fine, but I like this approach where you're like kind of layering the story on. So I would recommend specifically for a first playthrough with the tutorial and get to know all the characters and the way that they're introduced. This is just going to give us some very basics of how to move around in this world. Most of this you're going to be very familiar with. They do give you multiple ways to move characters. You can just like hold down your mouse, they'll go towards that. You could double click.
As long as you have, I think.
So about 3 hours. Got it.
And then you have a noise meter here. And this is really cleanly implemented, I think. A lot of games have a noise meter, but I just like the way that this is so clean. And they're trying to communicate a lot of information here, but it's done in a way that's very intuitive, so I love that. You can modify that by crouching and stuff, so there's ways around it. What do we have over here? From the apartments beyond comes the melody of a French horn, faint but bold against the city's murmurs. The writing in this game is pretty cool as well. We're going to try to find all the lore as much as we can. Just take our time going through here. There's lots of stuff to find between combat, so you're always doing stuff. Okay, so we're playing in infiltration mode. We're not in combat, so you move in real time around the map. Agents have real-time roles like sneak, bruiser, or saboteur. We can clamber. The door ahead is bolted from the other side, but a sneak, Latif, can clamber up the nearby netting, then unlock the door for Ingrid. Now, as we start getting more and more agents in our roster, these roles are going to become important to decide how you want to make up your group that goes out onto missions. Because you might run into situations like this where you're not going to have access if you don't have the right agents. Now, there's multiple ways to do things normally, so that's not always going to be a problem, but it's just something to keep in mind. You also have, of course, combat synergies, which we'll get into a little bit later, that you have to consider. So it's not just their roles that matter.
Didn't have much of a choice. Let's go.
So when they split up, your agents do have to be regrouped, so we'll make sure we bring them back. You can press G or double-click an agent with left mouse to group them together. When grouped, unselected agents automatically follow the one under your control, and enemies can't catch them in their field of vision. So when you're sneaking and stuff, the only person that matters is the lead of the group. To control each agent individually, press G again, or left-click on a single agent to ungroup them. Only nearby agents can group up. To include faraway agents in a group, move them closer together before pressing G. Cool, cool. Now we can break walls. So Ingrid's a bruiser, able to bring down weakened barriers to create new paths through the environment. So we're going to go ahead and break this down with her. As I mentioned, I'm going to be going through the tutorial a little bit quicker than we did back in May because I'm a little bit more familiar with it now. That doesn't mean I'm going to rush through this, though, and I still want to check all of the environment to see if there's anything that we can find around here that might help us.
Someone has blocked the streets. Definitely not police.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
If
dark.
I didn't know better, I think someone was trying to funnel movement.
Yeah, almost like a bit of an ambush. Hey, Latif. What do we think about that? I will say, too, like, having a little bit of hands-on time, all of the characters are awesome. They're very unique. Their playstyle is unique. Their personalities really stand out. They've done such a good job.
A letter from our employer. The
Monsieur
mysterious L.
Monsieur T. My agents will meet you as arranged, and I expect you will deliver. Why else would you write our mutual friend about discovering the cards? Surely you knew he would write to me. So sell me the deck and be done with it. Do not stand between me and my revenge, L. Now, these cards, we are going to learn a little bit about something called the undrawn hand. And these are ways that you can, let's say, change your agents a little bit. We'll get into a little bit more later, but this is a very cool system.
Look, there's the courier. He's sleeping?
Oh, yeah, he's sleeping. He's definitely only sleeping. Tomorrow's issue of Le Petit Parisien already fills the stands. March 4th, 32. Let's just check back here. Pretty sure there's nothing, but you never know. Yeah, I think we're clear. Oh, hold on. The display window for this used bookstore bears two posters. One is an advertisement for a new brand of Spanish gramophone. The other offers a warning. The she-beast is coming. Oh, cool. That's a little foreshadowing. Little foreshadowing.
Nope, he's dead.
And no sign of the package. So much for an easy job.
The poor guy's still warm. The package can't be far.
Okay, so we are going to get into some combat pretty quick here. Now, this is not... I wouldn't define this as a stealth game.
Those masked soldiers from the roof. Who are they?
No idea. But 10 francs as one of them has our package.
So there's a lookout up ahead in a well-defended position. Get too close and the agents will enter the guard's field of vision, causing him to become suspicious. A frontal attack is an option, but not the only one. Scoundrels like Ingrid and Latif can handle certain threats while staying silent. As a sneak, Latif has several advantages during infiltration. When not grouped with his agents, and this is important, he has to be ungrouped, but then he moves a little bit more quietly. He can approach enemies from behind without being detected at all. Ungroup and switch to Latif to narrow the enforcer's field of vision, then move Latif behind the enforcer. So check this out. We're just gonna take a little bit of cover here, switch to him, and now let's go like so. We're gonna ungroup here. And you see how if we're grouped, that entire circle shows, but if we ungroup him because he's a sneak, now he can sneak up behind him and we can take him out. So agents can use takedowns to quietly dispatch enemies. This lone sentry is a perfect target for the sneak takedown, sucker punch. Switch to Latif, move behind the sentry, and press spacebar. Now, I just want you to keep in mind, look at this bottom ability here. So this is, he's got 3 uses per mission, basically. And this is not enough to just like stealth through the game like this. You cannot do it. You can take out key targets and then have your battle, but you're gonna have the battle. You're not focused on stealthing through.
So much for him. Any sign of the package?
These guys are flunkies. We're looking for a bigger fish.
An hour ago, this was a cakewalk. Now we've got the dead courier and goons in gas masks.
And you got 2 more coming up here. Below is a lone night watchman slouched in a chair, fast asleep. Beside him is a spirit board. The planchette points to the letter H. Interesting. Will that come back to be important? I don't know.
Right this way.
Okay, so here, this is a little bit different. 2 guards up ahead, too many for a sneak to sucker punch, plus 1 would see us as we approach. But bruisers like Ingrid can use slam to take down up to 3 targets at once. Slam makes more noise than other takedowns, but dead men don't get suspicious. Switch to Ingrid and press space, aim with the mouse, and then confirm with space again. Agents have a limited number of takedowns they can perform per mission. The number of uses remaining is displayed in the abilities icon. So I was a little bit ahead there, but you guys get the idea. So let's do a little bit of this, and we'll do a little bit of that. Surprise! Bye-bye. Now, these guys are very conveniently placed for our learning experience.
Don't wander.
It will not always be like that, as you'll soon find out. Okay.
Another flunky. Perhaps we can slip past them.
Let's bring him up now. I can probably just go past these guys. This is kind of a little bit of, what's the word? Contradiction to what I said about stealthing through here, but this is just teaching us that you can move around the area. If you make too much noise or enter their field of vision, enemies become suspicious, indicated by a question mark over their head. When an already suspicious enemy sees or hears something fishy, an expanding red circle appears around them, indicating they're searching their surroundings. If an agent gets caught in that red circle, combat will start. But this enforcer has his back turned to some low cover, so it won't be hard to slip past him undetected. All agents can use cover to stay out of sight, even when inside an enemy's field of vision. Sneaks have an extra trick up their sleeves. When ungrouped and next to any cover, sneaks are cloaked, meaning an enemy can only see them when standing right in front of them, even when they're in that enemy's direct line of sight. Grouping up with other agents will make a sneak easier to spot, though. Stay close or split up, it's a gamble either way. Below is a bank's entry hall. Its marble columns all arrayed like chessboard pieces in a crooked game. Okay, well, hopefully that guy doesn't turn around because we are getting out of
Seems like
here.
half of Paris wants this package.
Yeah? The gas mask wearing half.
Okay, now it's an ambush. Sooner or later, it's time to fight. Best to do it on the agent's own terms. Position the agents, then enter turn-based mode with control. And all these things are in the top right corner, very clearly defined and able to see that. Choose that opening attack carefully. As soon as enemies become aware of the agent's presence, they'll take cover, making them harder to hit. All agents get a 15% two-hit bonus in the first round of combat. Very nice. So we'll split these guys up.
Here.
And we'll set her here. We could go and take him down, obviously, but they do want us to fight, so that's what we'll do. Now, she's a little bit more melee-focused, and he's all about evading and stuff, which we'll learn about very soon. Ingrid and Katif have gone loud and are now in turn-based combat. Agents may take their turns in any order. Combat abilities appear in the ability bar at the bottom of the screen. Each ability costs 1 or more action points to use. Navigate the ability bar with left and right, or selecting with the mouse, or by pressing the matching number key on the ability button. Movement costs 1 or 2 AP, depending on the distance traveled. Always color-coded. It's very clean and easy to see there. Select the move ability, then use WASD to move the mouse, or move the mouse to choose a destination. Okay, so we're going loud. Couple of things we can do here. Number one, we have a kind of signature ability. So Latif's is Decoy. He can set down a 120 HP decoy in a cloud of smoke, becomes invisible, and moves to a selected location. This is a really good get out of jail. I'm not going to say free ability, but this is a get out of jail ability. Nearby enemies attack the decoy for 2 rounds or until it's destroyed. The smoke means that incoming attacks against the units in there have a minus 25% chance to hit and crit. The invisible buff, enemies cannot see or target this unit. Okay. We also have the move ability. We have the shoot. So for him, it's 40 to 60 damage, 1 AP, 1 ammo. It's a skillful shot. 20% crit chance versus flanked and unaware enemies. Accurate at close range. And then he has an Overwatch ability. Attacks the first enemy that moves or performs a hostile action within the targeted area. And then he's got reload here. But he also has a passive ability that every time he moves, he gets a stack of evade. And this is really big because if somebody shoots at him, he automatically dodges it, which is pretty cool. Some abilities need a target. Cycle through all targets in range with tab or Z and select one with space. While targeting, the ability's chance to hit and chance on hit to score critical damage are displayed on the right side of the screen. Change of heart, cancel it with escape. We're not going to have a change of heart. So 100% chance to hit, 65% that it will be a crit. And this bar here, this is his stress meter. The game probably won't introduce us to stress until somebody breaks, but this is a really cool thing that it's similar to how Darkest Dungeon does it, I guess. That would be the closest comparison. Every time you shoot at a target, they'll take stress whether you hit them or not. And so you can also defeat enemies by maxing out their stress, and there's a bunch of cool synergies and stuff that we will learn once things get a little bit more advanced. I won't go too deep into it now.
Am I making this look too easy?
Okay. So, he is alerted now. That is obvious. Now, she has the strike ability, but he's a little far away, unfortunately. So let's move up to here. And then we can trigger this, and we can get into range to take him out. Now, notice down in the bottom right, it's a melee attack, a bone-crushing blow that applies dazed on crit. So you can't really rely on that 10% yet, but if we could stack that later, that would be cool. And then a daze would make it so that they have 1 fewer AP for the next round. That would be pretty good if that lands. But
bothering me. The courier's body was a pincushion, but none of these goons have knives.
And the sooner we find this package, the better.
she has killer instinct. So for her, one of her passive abilities is that when she kills somebody with a melee attack, she gets +1 AP. So you can already figure out where that's leading. You want to be able to get a bunch of enemies to low health that she can then go and chain to finish them off, right? Is there anything else up here? Doesn't look like
Follow
it.
me.
We can check this door, but I think we're fine. Okay. Let's hop down. Now, we did see somebody here. I don't know where he's at now. Oh, there he is. Okay, 2 guards on the lower rooftop.
Hang back.
Should we fight them? Agents behind cover are harder to hit, providing them with a defensive advantage during combat. The shield icon next to an object indicates whether it provides half cover or full. You guys understand this, I'm sure. In full cover, agents are more protected, but may lose line of sight on enemies. This is something that not a lot of games do, and it's an additional strategic component you need to be considering. Full cover will sometimes obscure your own line of sight. Enemies are going to take advantage of cover too, flank them to get a clear shot, indicated by the gold trajectory lines available when moving and targeting. So if I get him here, notice he goes into that invisible state. So he's going to catch her, unless this is going to be dicey.
Took care of that one for you.
Okay, that was close. That was close, but handled. I kind of feel like I shouldn't use up his last ability for this, because we don't want to run out of a situation where, or we don't want to be put in a situation where we have a bunch of tougher enemies. So we can overhear this. She's not back yet, is she? Calm down, boss said she's praying. Praying? But I heard screaming. No, you didn't. You understand me? When it comes to the Nicastros, you didn't hear nothing. Little mob life there. Gotta love it. Now let's see if I can sneak into this. Okay, that'll do. Let's go loud. We'll take the shot. And we'll do the exact same sequence here as last time. Now, she also has an evade ability. So, for example, can I still move him? Yes, I can. So if I were to move him, like right here, yes, it's in the open, but watch this. Now he's got dodge. Every time he moves, he gets a stack of evade. So that includes, if I were to move him twice, you get 2 stacks of evade, which is really powerful. For her, it's an ability. Costs 1 AP, but you could, in theory here, go here, punch this guy, use an evade, or vice versa. You can reverse the order. But both of them wouldn't be able to get hit by this guy, which is quite nice. Now, yes, we're fighting one guy right now, so it's a little bit easier. But things are going to start to get more complex as we go. Okay.
Let's move.
Good job, everyone. Well played.
So, what's he like? L, I mean.
He has neat handwriting, and he pays well.
You've never met him either, huh?
So we're gonna have to learn about the story aspects as we go here. So really paying attention to their call-outs and stuff, especially related to their
package is inside one of those crates. They're
their
loading the
leader
trucks to
here.
go.
Then we need to move fast if we want our payday.
So I think in the oh, there's something in the middle there. I think when we did the tutorial back in May, we approached this from this other side. Let's just chill here for a second. These guys, I think, are going to do... Yeah, they're going to walk this whole perimeter. I think just to change it up, maybe we'll approach from this right side here. But I just want to grab whatever this is. She thinks they'll be here because some poor bastard's lower intestine told her so. Keep your voice down. The last guy who doubted her rituals became the next ritual. So we're learning a little bit about this all-powerful person. Magister, mission success. Ladynicastro, second mention, has retrieved the deck. Departure slightly delayed as we wait for her to finish praying. I've already sent a cleanup crew to follow in her wake. Given tonight's excitement, I told them to expect at least 3 more bodies. Okay, so we need to get that stolen package in the middle there. That's the goal. So what I'm thinking we do here... I'm thinking we do a little bit of go loud action. Like this. Take them out.
Out of the way.
Oh, and they didn't hear. Oh, wow. Okay. I thought for sure we were going to go loud there. I'll take it. I'll take it. That makes this a little bit easier. That said, they're facing each other, so I wonder.
Give me a moment.
Yeah, see, he will catch him, but I can actually maybe do this.
It was you or me.
That's hilarious. He is a sneak. A true and proper sneak. Impressive. Impressive, Latif. Very impressive. Okay. So this is a signature ability. We didn't look at hers yet. It's an agent's most powerful move. Agents can only use their signatures once per mission, but if deployed correctly, they can change the tide of battle. So hers is this circular AoE that you target. A sweeping compound attack that deals damage and inflicts knockdown upon all enemies. If they're knocked down, they're debuffed, the unit's fallen over. Knockdown units can't perform actions until they're back on their feet, and I believe it takes them an AP to get back up on their feet. Also, when they are knocked down, they are easier to hit. So this will combo with some nice abilities later. We are not going to do that here. We are, in fact, just going to finish him off like we have been. And we'll take this.
Is that the last of them?
It can't be. We still haven't seen whoever carved up the courier.
Hey, I have an idea. Let's leave before the butcher shows up.
So some of those little interactions with how far away people are going to get detected, how much time you have to go in, knock somebody out, and get away. Like, we'll have to kind of finesse that, but that worked out a little bit better than I was anticipating.
I have the package.
Nice lift. Now let's get out of here.
Nice lift. That's thief talk, for those of you that are wondering. It's good thief talk right there. Just a couple of thieves, Steven. Just out here, we're just a couple of saboteurs, couple thieves. Actually, none of these guys are saboteurs. That's an actual role, so I don't want to confuse you, but...
I have a car just ahead.
I'm just joking.
We can take that to the rendezvous.
We are going to meet a saboteur right away, though.
I'm going to open this package. I think we deserve to know what we just risked our lives to steal.
I won't tell.
And Mr. L hired us to retrieve... playing cards. Blank? Playing cards?
A troop of uniformed mercenaries killed a man. For a deck of blank playing cards?
Not what I'd call a winning hand.
It will be when we trade it in to Mr. L for our paycheck.
If only it was that easy. If only. Whittle your enemy's health down and then finish them off with Ingrid. Yeah. I could have wrote these tutorial screens, you know? Just kidding.
This is the place. From here we catch an airplane that takes us to L.
Can you fly an aeroplane? Because I could probably figure it out, but...
Let's hope the contact we're meeting knows how.
Yeah, let's hope. Over the slimy salt tang of the ocean wafts the delicate floral scent of fresh oranges. I like how sometimes it's like it's a cool lore dump, and sometimes it's about the scent of oranges.
The gas masks from Paris are here too?
Impossible. There's no way they got here before we did.
Well, unfortunately they did. Now this guy, he is guarding, as indicated by this little eye icon. Enemies on guard won't move from their post, but they may call their buddies over to investigate on their behalf. They're also more alert and quicker to catch infiltrating agents, even sneaks who approach from behind. So if we were to ungroup here and go to Latif, notice we still have the full circle there. So just something to keep in mind. What's this? Recruitment Flyer, printed on cheap newsprint. Veteran, fine fulfillment, good pay. The Banished Court. Okay, so they're hiring vets. Agents can hide in tall grass, making them harder to catch. Yeah, yeah. Now, we do have a couple of environmental things here that we can utilize. Hazards. The crate of explosives is dangerously close to a pool of flammable oil, and those enforcers' patrol routes take them right past it. When the agents are ready to go loud, enter turn-based mode, select a ranged attack ability, and then target the crate of explosives and light it up. Keep an eye out for other hazards on the map, either to avoid them or to use them to the agent's advantage. Yes, we will. Cold night tonight. No, it's not. It's just what happens when you step through the crossroads. Fastest way to travel, but turns your blood colder than a ghost. So you're starting to see like some of the supernatural stuff that's going on in this world. This is a really cool like genre blend of like this kind of noir but mysticism. It's very cool. Okay, so we're gonna go loud here, and we'll blow up the crates like so. That one looks good. Surprise! Surprise. They are, well, they're surprised, definitely, yep, Okay, so I think I'm gonna tuck down here with Latif. That's gonna give him one evade stack here. And then what I might do is move her over to here just to get her in range of this guy. And then just chuck an evade. So we should be able to avoid these attacks. Now this guy might come and shoot her, but in full cover, I think that's gonna be okay. Let's see how they decide to do this. Okay, so he blew his evade. He's not coming in for the flank. Okay, that's fine for me. That is fine. Notice we took a point of stress because we were shot at. We've been managing that pretty well up until now. So now what we're gonna do is let's come here. This is a little bit aggressive on my part, but I'm okay with that. We've got HP to play with. We have that evade stack. Only 20%. That's what I was a little worried about. So maybe what we do is something a little different. Change our approach here. If we get really lucky and he's dazed, cool. We're gonna take a punch here for 35, and then I'm gonna take an evade stack. I don't see this guy coming up and putting himself in a super flanked position to shoot at her. Most likely he shoots at her, and then we get to use the evade stack that way. And then what I could do is really pressure him, getting another evade, and we should be totally fine. I don't think shooting our pistol here is good value. I might even take this position so that if this guy does want to move over here and shoot, I'm in full, and then I don't think it matters. But this will really pressure him. I don't think he's going to want to stay there. Yeah, so he's out of there. He's going to take a flank shot, but it won't matter. Okay, so now this isn't going to be quite enough, and I don't know that I can get over there. Oh, I can actually. Beautiful. Okay, so Latif comes in here. He's got the evade stack. We get the 100% on this guy. Oh, we crit! We crit, so I don't even get to do the chain, and that's okay. So let's do this. We'll throw an evade on her. Now, not all characters are going to have evade. That's something to keep in mind. We're making this look very strong right now, but that's just using what they're giving us right now. Okay. Let's do this. We got a 70% there. I don't think he's not in that. 70 is good. We'll take it. We'll take it. And then the problem is now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pressure, and we'll set up an evade stack here as well. And then we're going to meet a new recruit over here, as you may have seen. He's reloading. He stayed there. Questionable decision. Questionable. I will say. Notice this oil pool here. If this explodes, this all catches. It's pretty neat. Is it weird? I've been playing so much Baldur's Gate that when he just ran past that, I was like, oh man, I'm going to take an opportunity attack.
Who are these goons? Secret police? Communists? Anarchists?
None of those seem to fit. This is something else.
This page is flecked with small red dots, possibly blood. Captain, we found a suitable candidate for the finding, and Ladynicastro was able to perform the ritual. She says the entrails indicate Marseille as the thieves' destination. We're preparing the mobile crossroads beacon now. Note, apologies for the stains in this letter. This is the last time I stand downwind during a finding. So a finding is like a kind of ritual that we'll probably learn about that appears to be a little,
Keep up.
a little on the messy side. Just want to check to see if there's anything here. Doesn't look like it. Okay, let's move on. Let's go get our third person in the roster. I don't want to misquote. I think there's like 12 different agents that we'll get. The metal is blistering cold, far too cold for a French night in March. From within comes a faint mechanical hum.
Psst. Mr. L sends his regards.
Snazzy. He knows the code words. Okay, so this is blocked right now. Make contact.
Y'all got the package?
That depends. Are you the pilot?
Me? No. I'm the guy who's gonna get you to him in one piece.
Okay, so Eddie, he's a saboteur. Saboteurs can pick locks and use shock mine to take down enemies during infiltration. The door up ahead is locked. Switch to Eddie to pick the lock and open it.
On the move.
You got it, buddy. Good job. Now, I guess we could go and unlock this, but there's stuff through there that we're going to want to get.
It's open. Get a move on.
But, I don't know. Maybe that comes into play later. I don't think it will matter. Agents can pick up and carry useful information in their inventory. Anything an agent picks up is displayed in the inventory slots in their ability tray at the bottom of the screen. To use an item, first select its inventory slot with left and right, then activate it with space. Items like medkits are usable in both real-time and in turn-based combat, while targetable items like grenades are only usable in turn-based. To drop an item, select an inventory slot and press I. Once the item appears on the ground, other agents can grab it for themselves. Okay. So this is bandages. Eddie doesn't have evade. So I'm going to give those to him for now. Translated from French from Remy Allah, Stevedore. At or around 2100, that's 9 p.m. A troop of unknown soldiers entered Dock 94 of Viewport de Marseille without warning or authorization. I have attempted to contact the gendarmerie, but no one has responded. Their leader is... Report leaves off here in a blot of ink, as if the writer had been called away mid-sentence. Very quick call away, if you ask me.
Didn't catch your name, cowboy.
Eddie Sawyer. Pleased to meet you.
They call me the Gentleman Jin.
Sure thing. Your turn, sister.
Just Ingrid will do. Let's keep moving.
They call me the Gentleman Jin. No, they don't, Latif. Quit trying to make that a thing. Shock mines. During infiltration, saboteurs can throw shock mines to lure an enemy out of position. Those who come to investigate will find themselves on the receiving end of a deadly electric current. On detonation, shock mines also electrify water and ignite oil. So, two things to keep in mind here. So, we could throw this down. Could throw this down over here. It's kind of not ideal because there's only one guy, but let's actually wait till he comes back. We'll do it because that's what they want us to do.
Come on, go check it out. You know you wanna.
Yeah, just go look at it. Bye. That'll do. See you later. Got to check all the nooks and crannies. I'm pretty confident that we're getting almost everything on the tutorial level here, but it is entirely possible that you can miss some stuff. There's some pretty powerful upgrades in the levels if you are not looking for them. You gotta.
Sure about this?
So this is an optional area ahead. We'll be taking all the optional areas. The agents don't need to enter it to complete their mission. In fact, doing so may make victory harder as the area is crawling with patrolling guards. But optional areas may also contain valuable rewards. Infiltrate, fight, or avoid them entirely. It's a gamble either way. Oh, we're going in. So I'm gonna ungroup here. We're gonna take some high ground. And Eddie's a shooter, okay? He's gonna be shooting a lot. So we want to be utilizing that as much as we can. And Mr. Sneak. Oh yeah, we got all our charges reset here, which is kind of nice. And these guys are all in this pool, so we'll take this opportunity to throw a mine.
This always works, except when it don't.
Ooh.
I'll check it out.
Surprise! And now they're taking a little bit of damage over time. I wonder if they keep taking more? No. Okay. So, agents don't need to use all their action points in a turn. You can end a turn early by pressing enter. But let's go through Eddie's stuff. So his signature ability is Barrage. Lays down a hail of fire, dealing damage to all enemies in an AoE cone. So not going to be super applicable here until they come up. He's got the move, of course, Dual Shoot. It's his basic attack. He fires twice with his revolvers, targeting up to 2 different enemies. Is accurate at mid-range. He has Overwatch as well. He does not have Evade, something to keep in mind. Eddie's dual pistols allows him to attack up to 2 separate targets with an action. So you can add them with space and then target to a different one and add them as well. Or you can just target the same person twice. It's also possible. He's the only guy in range, so we'll just take this shot. Love that. Cool reactions on him too, like getting the body shots. Love it. Okay, so that's one potential chain for Ingrid. Now what I'd like to do is get a little bit more aggressive with Latif here. He's only gonna have 1 evade stack, but I'm thinking if I can weaken this guy, then I could chain twice. And we crit there too. That's actually beautiful for me. So let's go here. And we'll take this guy out. I'll position on this side so it's a little bit closer to the next enemy.
I'm not here to play games.
We get that 1 AP back. And then, where am I going to position here? It's tough because both of them could come and flank me. So that might just have to be... I might just have to take a hit here. Let's go here and hope this guy doesn't come and flank. This guy could flank us, but he might want to move as well. Tough to say, but let's see. So with our 1 AP, I could run to cover. I could go over here, which would break line of sight, and then we take a shot potentially just from this guy. Maybe that's better than taking the 1 evade stack, because they could come and flank and shoot her for sure. Either way. Eddie's a little further back than I would like. And I don't think I'm going to entice these guys to come much closer. So I might just drop down here. And let's see what they do. So there's 1 evade stack. And then this guy, if he wants a shooter. Yeah, he's... Okay, cool. We'll take that. We will absolutely take that. Now, can Eddie get in range here? I mean, yes, technically. I feel like what I should do is get Latif moved up a bit. That's an evade stack at least. And then he can take this position. Go Gadget Eddie. And we'll just dual shoot on this guy. So we have 45% chance twice. Mathematically, one of those has pretty much got to land. Like, you know, mathematically, of course. We know how math works in these games. That'll do. Okay, and then go for another one of these. One thing I would like to see them patch at some point is make it so that if I could move and strike, just let me use like 2 action points to do the strike, if that makes sense. Because you do have to move within range and then And then trigger the melee attack. It's just something to get used to. A lot of games do it. Okay, so I think we just throw on the evade stack here. Now we got 2 evades up front. And that pretty much smells doom for Mr. Gas Mask. I'm just gonna come stand in the open here. Pretty confident in our abilities to kill this guy.
Y'all taking notes on this?
There we go. So his passive special ability is that if he crits, he gains an ammo, which is really nice. So we can find items that buff his crit chances. That's going to make him really strong, and he can just keep shooting, keep shooting. That'll do. Okay, everybody.
This way.
Optional area completed with a vengeance. And what are we rewarded with? Well, bandages for one. Unfortunately, nobody's taken a hit yet. We'll grab the fire bombs here. Harbor log. Okay. Quai, 94, arrived 3rd March 32, Craft Sea Aeroplane, Vaudeville, Gina. Captain is Nicola Constantaris, port of origin, Valletta. Passengers 1, American. Addendum. The pilot of this vessel is an alleged smuggler, wanted in the United Kingdom for transport of illicit materials. No action to be taken at this time. Let the Brits see to it. Addendum 2. Constantaris passenger also has a warrant of arrest in the United States. No action to be taken at this time. Okay. So, I am going to try to use consumables as much as I can. Oh, she's got a key. Okay. Oh, man, I kind of want to go for this, but I'm a little concerned she's going to turn. I knew it. Didn't detect him. That's very suspicious. Very suspicious, Latif. She's going to find him. Okay, couldn't get out of that one. But that's fine. This is all... Everything's fine. Everything is totally fine. We have nothing to be concerned about at all. Okay. Now, I kind of want to do this. And then the... Yeah, you know what? I am going to do this. It's going to hit this one. It should light this. Is this water? I think that's water. I don't think that's oil. So this actually might not be the play. Let's, in fact, just take this. Take our... Oh, we got the
really
crit.
Want to impress me? Do that again.
Dang. Okay, well, I'm not going to complain. Luck is on our side right now. And then you know what? I'm gonna dangle. This is an old-fashioned personal callback. Love a good dangle. We'll throw the evade stack. Throw on the dangle down here. And if you're wondering, what's a dangle? It's putting somebody out in the open that you know can't be hit. I'll throw a little Overwatch in this direction. I don't expect them to come this way, but we'll see. Well, they're actually doing it! They're crazy! Okay, so this is a melee unit. It's not gonna be good for them, I'll tell you that much.
I could steal the eyeliner off your eyes.
Some doors can only be opened using keys. Once an agent picks up a key, any of them may use it to open a corresponding door. That's great. Thank you. Got our dodge stack.
Oh, not quite the adventure I was imagining, darlings.
There you go.
But it will have to do.
So that'll... I think that key is to get us through there. We have more bandages, but we haven't taken an injury yet. Oh, we do have more here. We do have more here.
Wait.
Let's set these guys down. We'll go for a takedown here.
You got any idea who these gas masks are, Sawyer?
And...
Seems like there's a new militia every
Oh,
week
God.
these days. A lot of Joes came back from the war unfit for anything but killing.
That was close. I think the water is making noise. Oh god.
People just don't pay attention.
That'll do. I'll take that. People just don't pay attention, he says. Wait, what is this? Is this another firebomb? Yes, okay.
Hold on.
Let's see what else we have here. This is just the other path that we could have taken. Because remember, that was an optional area that we could have totally avoided and just walked through here. So, mission accomplished, everyone's dead. Okay, group up now, please.
And we're through.
There's the aeroplane.
Okay,
Where'd that damn pilot get to?
Now, the idea here, I went a little aggro last time, and I did this and I fought this fight to the bitter end. And we won, and it was great. But what the game actually wants you to do is a little different, and I might abide by that this time. Recon Mode. Scoundrels know the value of casing the area before things get loud. Activate Recon Mode with R, and move the cursor over objects on the map to gain insights about the agent's surroundings and plan their attack. So you come in, you enter Recon Mode, right? Now you can highlight anybody, and this is where you can start to see all of their abilities, their passive and active effects, things that we've already talked about to this point in time. And this is really helpful. You're going to pretty much do this every combat to get to know enemies, especially when they're new. What else? Yeah, okay, I think that's good. But let's look at the enemies. So this guy is an enforcer recruited from the disillusioned masses. He's got burst fire. Sprays a target with a burst of SMG fire. This guy's also guarding. This is our objective back there. And that's all we can really see for now. So let's get in a little closer. Uh-huh.
Maybe you got the location wrong?
They will be here.
That's
And
Nicastro.
back with them. Doubt me again, and the next entrails I read will be yours.
So we cannot sneak up on him, unfortunately, because he's guarding. Now, Ladynicastro, she is a scion. She's very deadly. Think of these scions sort of like Chosen from XCOM 2, War of the Chosen. When scions like her are on the field, there's no shame in running to live and fight another day. The escape route is that aeroplane at the end of the dock. Reach it to escape Ladynicastro, and don't forget the pilot right here, who is kind of being guarded, unfortunately. Now, one thing we could look to do is throw a shock mine there, but that's not really going to work, is it? No, not really. Because he doesn't have any, unfortunately. Let's set you here, and then Eddie. I almost wonder if I should just target... I want to target this. I'm not close enough. Okay. So let's... real time here. Come out a bit. Does that give it to me? Oh, it still doesn't. Okay. Finessing, finessing.
Come on, pal. Don't give me the silent treatment. Let's work something out.
That's the
This'll do. Okay.
Make me an offer.
They're alerted all right. Now, we're going to have to fight some of them. There's no question about that. Let's go here. We'll take this one out. These guys are melee, so we have a little bit of time before they come in and start causing too many problems. I think we have enough to kill here. We do. Let's do this.
Isn't that a lovely sight?
Well, all right then.
And then I do kind of want to get here. The problem is, well, they are melee. So worst case scenario, we have this like ranged guy come up. I actually think we could afford to do this.
We're with Elle. You must be the pilot.
Sure am. Get me to my bird and we'll scram.
On missions, allies like Captain Nicky have a few tricks up their sleeves, but their real worth lies off the battlefield. So he is now with us and can fight. He's got smoke bombs. So this is pretty nice. We might actually use some of these here. He does have evade. He has a precision shot, deals moderate damage at short range. That's cool. What should we do with him? We ultimately need to get here. And so that's what we'll try and do. That's what we will try to do. Let's throw one of these. Actually, let's hold off on that because I don't know that we're gonna need that just yet. Latif has 1 AP left. I wouldn't mind if he was a little closer for this, but there's somebody back here too, right? And then one back over there. I'll kind of create a little bit of a spot that they can't run through in that middle section. Be much nicer if I was hitting 2 here, but we'll take what we can get. Okay, and then Eddie. I'm actually considering just a full run to even, actually, this is probably fine. Then once people come in, then we could try his barrage ability. So 85 there and 50 there. I think we'll put 2 into this guy, hopefully. Wow. 85 miss, yeah. Well, can't say I'm shocked, you know? Now, with the smoke, I want to make it so that enemies can't take as much advantage of this as we can. So we'll throw one there. And I don't love that I'm out in the open like this. This is a 55, which isn't really going to matter. It doesn't matter because if we hit it, he's still alive anyway. So we'll just throw a couple smokes down.
Enough!
Thank God that missed. So we're going to use Recon Mode to check her out in a second here. Okay, I think we're in a pretty good spot. So burning, they do take damage over time. Something cool there. Let's recon onto Ladynicastro. So, she has the Ravenous Salt. Blessed by the Devouring King, this unit's critical hits also inflict +1 stress. So if you get attacked by her, you're guaranteed taking 1 from the attack. And if it crits, you're taking another 1. She's immune to poison damage. She's immune to real-time takedowns. Her active effects... how do I lock this in here? There we go. The first attack attempt made against this unit automatically misses. So her evade works a little bit differently from what we've seen. She has Eldritch Riposte. Passive Overwatch ability performs a melee attack on any adjacent enemies performing a hostile action. Can activate any number of times per round. It's pretty scary. Abyssal Dart, which I think what she just threw. Ranged ability, she hurls a poison dart, dealing damage and inflicting poison. She has Torment. It's a debuff, reducing all enemies' line of sights. She has Slash, a melee ability that can impose bleeding. And she has Ecstatic Slaughter. Ladynicastro deals increased damage per stress on the target, only usable during Torment. So that sounds lovely, doesn't it? I think so. Okay, that's all the recon that I need. Thank you very much. 350 damage is, unfortunately, a lot of damage. Or a lot of health that we're going to need to deal with here. There's 4 enemies remaining. I wouldn't mind, like, just clearing the field a little bit. But I don't know if this is, like, the best time to use this, either. It does only 1 AP, so I can try it.
Time to light 'em up!
We'll take that. He actually hit both, too. Nice job, Eddie. It's the Edmeister. Ingrid. We're going to come over here. Finish off this guy, get that extra AP going. Now, of course, we could be playing into the 10% chance to crit, but, like, that ain't going to happen. Also, the first attack against them misses, and then she gets, like, the, that riposte thing. Where was it here? Eldritch Riposte performs a melee attack on any adjacent enemies performing a hostile action, and it can happen any number of times per round. So that's a little bit problematic for sure. And then Latif, I'm thinking I'll take this, and this guy is sort of flanked, but also sort of not. I believe we're going to see multiple attacks here, so I'm a little concerned about the potential damage that Latif could take here, but let's just try it. Okay, so Latif now. Let's go ahead and throw this down at 65 only.
What are you
That's
waiting for?
unfortunate.
It's the aeroplane, quick!
That is unfortunate, to say the least. Eddie. Don't know what I'm going to do there. We do have evade stacks to play with. Maybe throw down, like, another smoke here. I don't know if he's technically in there. Let's throw an evade. And then I'll tell you what, with Eddie, I'll just move into full here. And then, do we want to go for any of this stuff? I don't think so, honestly. I think, is she immune to knockdowns? She's immune to real-time takedowns. So, I mean, that's actually maybe not bad. But then we take an attack from this guy for sure. I think I'm just going to throw an evade, and we'll see what happens. We have the smoke, we have evade, we have a bunch of stuff.
What is this? Some kind of a gas, maybe?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You will never
Thank
reach
God.
that aeroplane.
Watch out!
Ooh, okay. So he's throwing down like some type of satchel charge here, and that's going to explode next turn.
I found something useful.
I'll grab these
and I didn't even
bandages.
steal it.
And now we need to get out of this because we can't see anything in her cloud. So she's here. We found her, which is good. I'm going to take this shot. I gained an evade stack. Got the crit. Good job. Good job. Take it. I'm a little bit concerned about messing with her, but is what it is. Got to get out of that circle. We'll take the kill from this side. Get the +1 AP. The other unit, I guess, is back there. Eddie without any evade stacks. Might have to go tangle with this guy one-on-one. We actually don't see. Okay, I don't know where the other one is. Okay, let's just overwatch in this direction. Captain Nikki, evade. And then we're going to do an evade here. And he's got one evade. She gains an evade with on guard.
Hey, lady with swords. Want to see me disappear?
Yeah, and she does have 2 attacks, so that's...
Don't think so.
She can have 2 attacks, I should say.
Worthy adversaries.
Okay.
You want the undrawn hand? Take it.
Oh, she's retreating.
The tower without it.
Okay, so this guy, we probably had some of our vision obscured from being in full cover, maybe. He might have been back there. So we did take some damage there. He did hit us, actually. And we are out of ammo. Wait, no targets in range. Where is he? That's weird. Maybe what we'll do here, let's position Eddie up here. And just start moving. We were starting to move towards this and not fighting everybody. Just to get our escape plan underway. Notice how he got 2 evade stacks there because he went for like a full dash. Don't hit him. Ooh, he got crit too. Okay, so he's down to half health. He's got 3 stress stacks there. Let's keep running. Now, if they're in here, we did this so differently in the demo. So I don't know if they're gonna leave technically or what's gonna happen there. All agents must survive, of course. Yeah. So maybe what we'll do is he doesn't have Overwatch. We'll set down a couple Overwatches here in case that guy runs up. Oh yeah, Eddie's out of a turn. Okay, so he's sneaking over there. Do we get out now? I think we might. See if the pilot has the range. Pilot does have the range. Let's go. And we got him. Very nice.
Everyone on board, or I'm leaving without you.
We just saved you! Go, go, go!
Very cool. So that's our first tutorial mission. Obviously a little hand-holdy and stuff.
Here we are. Del Vasto's Landing.
Now we find out what kind of man pays this well for a blank deck of playing cards.
Wouldn't mind knowing who the hell we were fighting back in Marseille. Never seen troops like that before.
Let's see what this Mr. L has to say for himself.
Yeah, I mean, what could go wrong? You go to some, like, billionaire's mansion in the middle of, like, on its own island. And you've accepted a secret job that you know nothing about. I'm sure it's fine.
A lovely little Mediterranean island you have here, Mr. L. I assume you are Mr. L?
I have that dubious privilege. Welcome, Mr. Lejeune, Ms. Erickson, Mr. Sawyer. Do you have the undrawn hand?
So the undrawn hand, as I alluded to earlier, is those cards.
We have a package for you. What's inside, we couldn't say, of course.
Ah, of course. Regardless, that deck of cards is key to your next job for me.
Slow down, pal. Who says we're interested in a next job? The last one burned your courier, and those two saw the body.
Then you three may divvy his pay among yourselves. And I'll sweeten the pot for this next one. 50%.
Can't say no to that.
You sound desperate. Okay, Mr. L, I'll humor you. What do you want us to do?
In a word, sabotage. I'm in a race, you see. A race to find an ancient ruin, a tower. You may know it under one of its other names. The Axis Mundi. The World Tree. The Tower of Babel.
Oh, you're an archaeologist then. That's disappointing.
I am no archaeologist, Monsieur Lejeune. And my rivals in this race are even less so. I want to preserve the tower. My enemies want to ransack it. It cannot be allowed to fall into their hands.
But it can fall into yours, huh? And the gal with the sword. She's one of these rivals?
Zorana Nicastro. Yes, she and two others, a nobleman and an industrial tycoon. Each is the scion of their own noble house. Collectively, they call themselves the Banished Court.
Science of the Banished Court. Mm-hmm. And how close are they to finding the tower?
They've already found it.
You said you were in a race.
We're losing.
I was.
Yeah.
And I lost. But I'm not out of the fight yet. My enemies have yet to enter the tower. It is a dangerous place, and their preparations are incomplete. I want you three to sabotage their efforts until I can find the tower myself.
Sabotage, huh? You have a target in mind?
My sources have identified an outpost belonging to another of the court's three leaders, the tycoon, Trace Marteau.
Marteau. Isn't that the famous American industrialist?
The one who's always in the papers?
The very same. I want you to infiltrate his outpost, sabotage a machine you'll find at the center, and return to me.
Sabotage requires a subtle hand. You'll need me. In the spirit of charity, I accept.
Oh, yeah. So humble, Latif.
You'll need me too. But if the other two scions are anything like Nicastro, I ain't risking my neck for free.
Mr. Sawyer is right. Double our fee, Mr. L, and we'll get to work.
Double it is. And please, call me Locke.
Okay, so I'll give you a brief overview of what's happening on the strategic layer, because there is a lot to manage here, and we're going to enter into this kind of tug of war, push and pull sort of thing, managing all of these three Scions threats. So welcome to Del Vasto's Landing. The tiny Mediterranean island serves as Locke's hideout, a place to take refuge from his enemies and plan his next moves. Now we'll do the same for the agents in his employ. Navigate to the world map in the menu at the top of the screen to plan the agent's next move. A couple of things we're going to do first. So these guys, the exclamations over their head, they want to talk, but I'm just going to quickly show you what's happening up here. So we have the hideout, obviously. We have the world map. We have our agents where we can upgrade them. We can learn about all of their skills and abilities. We have allies that we'll meet. We have supplier that you can buy stuff from. Speaking of buying things, you use supplies over here in order to do that. This is intel, which you use for running certain side missions and stuff. You're going to be sending agents to do multiple things at a time on the world map, and then you're going to have like combat missions as well. So we'll have to balance who we send where and make sure that we're still upgrading as many people as we can, because we don't want to have just like an A squad, because if somebody goes down from that A squad, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. This is the amount that we can heal outside of combat. This is ether for upgrades. This is SP for skill points and upgrading abilities. This is shared. You can use them among any of your agents across the board. Ink is for the upgrading the undrawn hand cards, which is something we're going to spend, I would say, a decent amount of time doing. And then the last two are a little bit different. KA is like King's Ether, I believe. And this is a special version of Ether that's used to unlock the most powerful upgrades. And then lastly, we have something called Seric Steel. And this is what's used to upgrade individual agents' weapons. Each of them has a unique weapon upgrade at the end of their skill tree, and it's very strong. It gives you a huge boost. So we're going to want Seric Steel whenever we can get it. So let's go through each of these first.
All this for one long-lost tower, huh? There must be something very valuable inside. I wonder why Locke thinks he's the one who should have it.
You sure ask a lot of questions, kid.
Yeah, and you ask him right in front of him, too, which is sus.
It's part of my job. Besides, I've seen my share of archaeological expeditions. Most of the time, everyone goes home empty-handed. Sometimes, you only wish they did.
Mr. Locke hasn't asked us to break out the pickaxes. He just wants us to smash up some machinery.
That's another thing. Trace Marteau is in a secret alliance with that Nicastro woman. How's that for an odd couple? He's working on flying cars and she's running around with antique swords. How did they meet?
I wonder who he's modeled after. Weird.
I wonder that too. It keeps me up at night. I'm trying to count the money Locke paid me, but I keep losing count because I can't stop wondering.
Mr. Sawyer, I'd be happy to count your money for you. Just say the word.
Gentlemen, please. It's simple. Two sets of wealthy eccentrics have decided to indulge in an archaeological competition. Our Mr. Locke and this banished court. And if we play our cards right, we'll come away rich enough to cultivate eccentric hobbies of our own. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be preparing for our next mission. We wouldn't want to disappoint our employer, would we?
So Ingrid's kind of like the goody two-shoes of the non-goody two-shoes gang. That's cool.
So, you finally have your cards back. Was it worth it?
Without a question. The undrawn hand is no ordinary deck of cards.
Oh yeah? You going to do a reading, see your future? Can you see my future?
Centuries of study, and we've only scratched the surface of the card's potential. But we know this. The undrawn hand doesn't predict the future. It changes it.
Can it give me a future where I have a secret island of my own and don't have to work for you anymore?
The cards prefer those who tempt fate. Perhaps if you keep sticking your neck out in the field, like you did in Marseille.
Forget about it. I almost got my head sliced off on that last job. I'll keep flying your gang of crooks around, but I'm not getting off the plane anymore. Not for anything.
Fair.
Not to worry. My agents will handle the field work from now on.
Man, I love this guy's voice. Like, just narrate my life, please. I would love that.
Glad we see eye to eye. Good night, boss. Hope somewhere in those cards of yours is a winning hand.
There is, Captain. There has to be. One more thing. These are portable radios. They'll allow you to communicate in the field as if you were standing side by side.
That's the tiniest radio I ever seen. In the war, they were big as rucksacks and heavy as sin.
The modern world is one of strange and rapid change. I'll take any advantage it provides.
Okay, very cool. Let's hit up the Agents tab quick here. So you can use this to view and manage the scoundrels in Locke's employ, equip items and prepare them for their next mission, spend skill points, unlock new tricks of the trade. The agents earn skill points from retrieving the undrawn hand. Spend them now by selecting skills in the upper left. So you can see the undrawn hand here. We'll get to that in a second. We'll start here in the skills. So this is their skill tree. You can earn this points earned from missions, or spend the points earned from missions to unlock nodes and open new paths. They're a shared resource, and any agent can benefit from them without having participated in the mission that earned them. Spend or spread your current skill points out between Ingrid, Latif, and Eddie, or drop them all on a single agent. I prefer the spread them around approach. So we're not going to go through every ability here, but you can just get an idea of what this character is all about. So this first one, Stick and Move, it's a melee debuff ability, a devastating hit and run ability that inflicts blinded and grants Ingrid a free move action. Bonus, +2 max HP and +2% damage. So you'll notice all of them have these different bonuses throughout, and they get stronger as you go on, increasing max HP percentages and increasing their damage output, just raw damage. So, and then you can see how that's all reflected here. You can also keep an eye on these icons, and this will kind of dictate what their specialty is. Like, this is a melee unit. They have pretty decent physical damage. This is their speed, how far they can move. This is their armor. This is their health. Let's take Stick and Move here, and then you can see they get a little bit more expensive as you go on. Let's move over to Latif. Actually, before we do that, let's go here. Let's look at her special weapon. So the weapon upgrade called the Queen's Hands is a set of gloves. Increased damage, significantly increased crit chance, which combos nicely with that dazed effect that she has. Gloved of the softest calf skin and sewn in lead plates, a perfect marriage of elegance and brutality. So you need 12 skill points, which, fine, but then you need that, I always forget the name of this thing. Serric Steel. You need the Serric Steel up here in order to make this happen. And then her last ability here is like Killer Instinct. Upon killing an enemy, she gains +1 AP, can activate any number of times per round. So I think this might give us extra, or maybe the way this works, yeah, okay, it can activate 2 times per round right now. That's why. And then this makes it unlimited. So you can really chain like giant attacks, which is pretty cool. Latif, okay, so he's a close range fighter, 40 damage, 100 health, 6 speed. We've already gone through all of this. We're going to now give him Distract. So he can inflict blind to all enemies in an AoE. Affected enemies prioritize attacking Latif, which is nice because you can draw attacks, use your evade stacks, make them blinded so they have a harder chance to hit you. So that's pretty solid. His special weapon here is the Quicksilver upgrade. Increased hit chance, significantly increased crit chance, higher ammo capacity. Very cool. And his last thing here is Unshakable 3. It's when an attack misses Latif, he negates 1 incoming stress and his cooldowns get reduced by 1. The attacker then becomes marked. And marked is a status. It means that when you kill that person, you get your AP back. That's actually not true. It makes them easier to hit, and there's some allies that we will get later that benefit from marked status, and one of those allies does get AP back if they kill a marked target. And then here on Eddie, Light 'em Up is a ranged ability, attacks up to 4 targets, ammo permitting. Hit targets are flushed out of their current locations, abandoning cover if possible. All targets gain marked. So let's go ahead and take that. Okay, there's still 3 more that we could spend here. So we could look at upgrading some of these. Running Shot, hit and run attack that deals damage per evade stack on Latif. And then he gains a free move action. If the target dies, he gains an additional evade as well. That's kind of cool. Slippery is a passive ability, gains +1 evade when he is hit by a crit. Don't know if I want him getting hit by crits. Here, upon manually activating the reload ability, Eddie gains a +20% crit chance until the end of the round. Passive reload abilities such as quick load do not trigger this effect. So this combos well with his passive here, where if he crits somebody, he gets an ammo. He's got Bullseye. It's a ranged ability, devastating shot that is guaranteed to hit. Has a +15% chance to crit, and deals double damage. Deals additional bonus damage against marked targets. Yeah. I think, yeah, marked maybe has more implications than I recall. But either way, we'll figure that out more as we get deeper. Eddie's attacks gain 25% chance to cause marked, which is pretty good. I kind of like this bullseye ability. It's a guaranteed to hit, 15% chance to crit, double damage, and extra damage on marked targets. Let's take that. I think this is good too, where he just has a 25% chance to cause marked, especially with barrage and light 'em up. But either way, I think we're good. I think that's pretty solid. Undrawn hand here. So the undrawn hand's full potential has not revealed itself. We will get additional slots. If we look here, we don't have any cards yet. So we'll get to that.
Couldn't keep away, could you?
So here we can buy stuff. This will change as you go along and you meet different people. I think we'll probably... let's buy a firebomb. And we'll maybe get a flash bomb just to kind of have a couple of things to go in there with. I think that's fine. And then let's go to the world map. This is the world map Locke uses to plan his secret war against the Scions. We can use it to track the court's progress and plan the agent's next moves. A pin on the map represents a sabotage job that Locke wants done against one of the Scions, Trace Marteau. Select it to begin. So right now there's only one mission. Soon we will have a bunch of missions. You will not be able to tackle them all. We will also start to have like threat meters for each of the Scions that we have to try and deal with before they max out. If they max out, that Scion will get stronger and become, they'll get like special abilities, will become harder to kill, and become more potent, and they're going to be more dangerous to deal with. So it's not going to be so much a game of stopping those meters from maxing out, because they will at some point, but it's going to be about making sure that we keep up and that we are equipping our guys in the best possible way to deal with the enemies that get stronger, if that makes sense. So this will be our next mission. It's called Trial Run, Sabotage. Destroy a generator built by Marteau Industries. From automobiles to home radios to government military contracts, Marteau Industries has its fingers in every pie. This is a critical mission, which is like, this is a story mission, essentially. It tells you what the rewards are going to be. So we're going to get intel, we're going to get some supplies, we're going to get skill points, and then it introduces a new enemy type called Scourges. I love that it kind of shows what this phenomena is. And phenomena is something that is basically a mission modifier. And in your initial setup of the game, you can go and choose to have like more phenomena show up if you want. You can make it a little bit more difficult for yourself, but it's just something to keep in mind. So now we go into assigning agents to this. We only have our 3 agents right now, but this screen is where you can manage equipment and manage what they're bringing out onto the battlefield. So we're going to go ahead and swap out these bandages. 4 types of equipment: armor, accessories, weapon mods, and pocket items. Outfit the agents from here on the agent screen. So we'll go ahead and take some of these, and we'll keep the bandages on her, and then maybe here we'll do the flash bomb. Applies marked and blinded. That's cool. So we could use this to apply marked, and then we could follow up with Eddie's guaranteed shot to deal even more damage if we run into a stronger enemy. You can see everybody's health slightly increased from the levels, which is pretty cool. A little bit more damage output from those levels as well. Very cool. We don't really have any equipment that we can put on these guys yet, but soon enough that'll happen. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you like this. If you like this video, the best possible thing you could do is just drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I'll have links down below for all things related to the Lamplighters League. And if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. If you missed at the start, I was very curious to know when you found my channel, so I'd love to hear that. If you made it this far, thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Lamplighters League. Bye for now.